In our discussion, we touched on China, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on what's really happening in this closed, walled-off nation.
First, it's important to acknowledge that China will remain a cultural and military superpower for decades, if not centuries. While we may discuss signs of decline, this is a civilization that has endured for millennia. That said, the country is facing significant challenges, particularly demographic ones, that will make its transition to the future difficult. Let's start with the issue of population. China's one-child policy, which lasted over 3 decades, has had severe long-term consequences. The official statistics have been overstated for years. There's a systemic incentive in China to inflate population figures at local levels, since these numbers influence funding for schools, public services, and administrative budgets. Over time, these small adjustments accumulate into large-scale discrepancies.
What evidence supports the claim that China's population has been overstated?
There are several indicators. For instance, housing occupancy rates highlight a massive overbuild in real estate, suggesting lower than expected demand. The number of active mobile phones doesn't align with the official population count. Finally, global agencies like the UN previously projected China's population would grow until the 2030s or 2040s, but recent official data confirms a population decline. This was a wake-up call for many. To illustrate the collapse, China's annual birth rate has halved in just a decade, dropping from about 15 million births in 2013 to approximately 7 million in recent years. For context, 7 million births are fewer than the combined annual births in the United States and the EU. It's a striking decline for a nation of this size.
That's remarkable. I recall seeing a video showing how China's New Year's babies count has hit record lows, a small but telling data point.
Exactly. And this trend is the new normal. A country's birth rate reflects the optimism of its younger population. Having children often requires confidence in the future. In China, many young adults, those in their 20s and 30s, are struggling economically and socially. They face enormous pressures, including the expectation to care not only for their parents, but also their grandparents. Adding to this, societal norms and economic conditions are not conducive to marriage and family formation. Without systemic change, China will likely face prolonged demographic challenges.